Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? How you doing? Come on in and sit on down because today we're talking about vigilantes. Finally, boys, we get to talk about Batman. Just kidding, we're talking about online predator catchers. Woo! There's a new craze going on. A new form of vigilantism that's been taking over the internet for the past couple of years. You're probably wondering what I'm saying, right? We're talking about online predator catching. Yes.
Can you have a seat over in that chair, please?
Not that one.
W.
That one. These self-proclaimed vigilantes go online and perform basically street justice to these predators. It's just funny content. It's online predators, online pedophiles, getting basically pranked. Prank YouTubers have basically found a new niche of people to prank, and it's really hard to get mad at them because the unsuspecting victims are all predators. You almost want them to keep going farther and farther. It's a very weird feeling. But today I just want to focus basically on one vigilante known as Vitaly.
I'm basically saying my right hand, like, so when I'm lonely, I just jerk off, get it, ha.
He's a former YouTuber with a disturbing past, but he has rekindled his online fame and has won the hearts of many.
Get away from me. What, are you gonna knock me out with your flashlight?
With basically, childish games. It's the only thing I can say to these online predators. I mean, it's basically schoolyard bullying at its finest, and it couldn't be funnier. This new venture has put him into a new heap of trouble. But he's not the first of these vigilantes to get a taste of the dark side. But in fact, the very show that this is all inspired by took kind of a similar fate in the past. I'm of course talking about To Catch a Predator. Why don't you have a seat? Why don't you have a seat? Some of those old clips, dude, are just so f***ing funny.
Could you explain yourself? I'm sorry.
It's like a guy walking in with like Capri Sun and condoms, and he's just like, Brittany? The Slender Man walks out and he's just like, why don't you have a seat? What's weird too is they always have a seat. I'm sure that there's people who are like, oh, and they run off. But I would say 99% of them are like, I was just here, I was just passing, I was making sure she's okay. What were you gonna do with the football? I remember there was like one of a guy either in a wheelchair, he was like in those like Walt Jr. stilts.
I thought you wanted to be shaved. Down there.
Today's video is sponsored by Fume. We all have bad habits in our life. Hell, maybe I eat a little too much. Hell, maybe I drink a little too much. These are all bad habits, my God. But Fume is here to leave it all behind. Fume is an award-winning flavored air device that helps you say bye-bye to bad habits and hello to happier and healthier living. Fume doesn't use vapor, nicotine, or toxic flavors, making it a great guilt-free alternative that you can take anywhere. Plus, you can reach for the device anytime you need to calm your anxiety with their movable, snappable magnets. I'm sure you're thinking, it's air, what could that taste like? Well, listen up! Fume has an array of core flavors, but they just came out with a couple new ones, such as Cinnamon Hearts, Spearmint Ice, and Black Licorice. Orange Vanilla used to be my favorite, but Spearmint Ice has a sweet mint taste that I just love. Fume has served over 300,000 customers, and you can be the next success story. For a limited time, use my code PAPAMEAT to get your free Fume base when you order the Journey Pack. It's the all-new magnetic stand for your Fume device. Head to tryfume.com, that's tryfum.com, and use code PAPAMEAT or scan the QR code on screen and get your free Fume base when you order the Journey Pack today. Thank you, Fume, so much for sponsoring the video, and back to the video. To Catch a Predator was an American reality TV show that ran from 2004 to 2007. In the show, Chris Hansen would host undercover sting operations where they caught adults trying to meet up with children they met on the internet just to hang out and eat pizza or drink a couple wine coolers. I'm sorry. Can I eat pizza and have a couple wine coolers with my bros? I'm kidding! And the show really did showcase how extremely demented some of these people are.
You want to explain yourself?
I mean, especially the parts where they had, like, voice actors, like, read chat logs and some of the most depraved shit.
What you looking for?
I don't know. You?
Well, hot sex, what else?
I remember as a kid, I was just like my back was against the wall, like, get these people away from me, please. Mom, protect me. The show worked with a watchdog group called Perverted Justice, as well as local law enforcement agencies for sting operations, but even they faced many legal challenges. Critics argue that the show's methods bordered on entrapment, where the suspects might not have committed a crime without the encouragement and the facilitation by decoys, which I don't agree with, Nick. Well, you entrapped me. That's why I became sexually attracted to this thing. That's why I sent those messages. It'd be kind of funny though if you did see the messages and they're just like, I bet you wouldn't say this, pussy. You're like, oh, I'm not a pussy, I will say this. And yeah, like immediately a SWAT team breaks into their house. It was a double dare.
They were tempted by the fruit.
Yeah, they were. It's not even the devil. It's God being like, are you sure you don't want this? And they're just like, okay, fine. The public airing of the confrontations raised questions about privacy rights of the suspects, especially those who were not convicted. Suspects who were not convicted or had the charges dropped could potentially sue for defamation, arguing that the public exposure caused undue harm to their reputation and personal lives. Because especially back then when it's on a big TV show, because that was Dateline. That's NBC. It's like one of the biggest networks out there. If your face is out there, especially back then, ain't no coming back from that. Nowadays, people do some shit on the internet, in like a month it's gone. Like there's some things obviously people will remember, but back then, people were talking about it. They were like, remember the guy with the blue polo? His face looked like this. He's like, what a f***ing creep. Then in 2006, one of the most controversial incidents occurred in Murphy, Texas, with suspect Louis Bill Conrad, who sewer-slided himself as the police attempted to arrest him. He allegedly exchanged pictures with a perverted justice volunteer posing as a 13-year-old boy. And Chris Hansen, they're like, Chris, don't come out. And he's like, why don't you have a... Where's he? Where's he at? He never appeared for the meeting with the minor, but in Texas, the meeting never actually has to occur for the intent to be established. Texas is just like, I don't care. Here's the gun. Put it in your mouth, freak. Due to the increasing legal challenges and criticism about the ethical implications of its tactics, the Catch a Predator was unfortunately canceled. This was just the fuel, and what soon came after with the internet was the actual flame that ignited all of these new vigilantes that come up and take the power for themselves. No longer were they beholden to a network. They had the goddamn internet. Following the format's popularity, several YouTube channels and internet vigilante groups adopted similar methods to expose predators, such as Anxiety War, Creep Catchers, and Predator Poachers. Honestly, all of them better than To Catch a Predator. To be fair, Predator Poachers? Are you f***ing kidding me? How good is that? That's pretty good. These channels will meet up with predators they're exposing and show them the chat logs and info they found out about them to expose them to the world as sexual predators. Most of these channels are doing this without assistance of law enforcement and are acting on their own form of justice, aka street justice, baby. Hooah!
It's not what it's looking like to me, Stuart.
Look, I'm sorry, it won't happen again.
I think it's a bit late to say I'm sorry, it won't happen again. It's happened.
I'm going to come off this website as soon as I get home.
Stuart,
oh, for God's sake!
Oh, for God's sakes! And the best thing about these online predator hunting shows is that there's really no rules or regulations. So they just like trap these motherfuckers and put a mirror up to them and then make them confront the reality of the situation. I always love some of these clips because it's like in a guy's backyard. And it's just like a guy with a cell phone. And that's all you need now to have like perfect image quality. You don't need a huge film crew anymore. He's just like, just say what you did. And people know, they're like, I'm forever. In a matter of seconds, millions of people could see this. It's fucking wild. But we want to start off with Alex Rawson, who created Predator Poachers in 2019. His channel makes a show out of the event by forcing the person they caught to call their spouse, their family members, their employers, to admit basically everything they've done. In a way, you like feel bad because they're human beings, but it's like with what they're doing, it's even worse. But dude, having like a man call his wife and be like, hey, so I was meeting a 13-year-old here, and you can just like hear the person screaming on the other end of the line. It's like gut-wrenching.
I was texting this person for a little while, and I didn't know, and I was gonna tell him to go home, but he's here and he's saying he's gonna call the cops on me if I didn't call you.
Oh no, I never said that. I never said anything about law enforcement. I never said that. I never said that. You decided to call her and notify her, okay?
Okay, so I'll call you, and I'll call you more later, okay?
Hello. Hey, excuse me?
Yes, they're monsters, but it's hard. I mean, like, it's just creepy, I guess. These monsters are wearing the masks of human beings. So in a way, it's like, you're like, oh, I feel wrong watching this. I mean, it gets pretty fucking dark very fast. As time has gone on, he has begun to work with police as well. And many of these people get arrested and charged for what they're doing. But there are plenty of videos of him and just his team doing it. Two of the arrests that they like to claim on their website are the firefighter Christopher Jones, who was sentenced to 33 years in federal prison. That's a pretty sweet score. That's like the Jaws part. We see the big shark up there, and they're like, we called that motherfucker. And David Dunn, who was sentenced to 30 years in federal prison as well. God damn. 63 plus years of just being like, there goes your life. Hope it was worth it. One of the more infamous videos was exposing the YouTuber internet personality EDP445, aka Eat That Pussy 445. Catastrophically huge meme.
Well, I was actually coming out here to pick up a cupcake.
I would say he was like a pretty well-liked YouTuber, funny, you know, he's like kind of one of the legacy YouTubers. He's been around for a long time. But then it comes out that this is happening and it's real and it's the most awkward interaction ever. Prior to the sting operation, there were unverified accusations circulating online about EDP. But they were largely dismissed due to the lack of concrete evidence and because big YouTuber, people have parasocial relationships with him, they're just like, I doubt it, you know, whatever. And also it's just hard to accuse somebody of something without concrete evidence. On April 18th, 2021, the Predator Poachers team confronted EDP in Bakersfield, California, where he believed he was meeting with the underage girl. The confrontation was recorded and streamed live on YouTube and other social media platforms. The team presented chat logs and other evidence showing that EDP had engaged in explicit conversations and planned to meet the decoy for inappropriate reasons. Since the incident, EDP has had his YouTube channel and multiple social media accounts banned, even though he keeps coming back like a goddamn moth to flame. I mean, there's just no coming back from this one. There's no way. I think he's trying to pull a Kevin Spacey. Kevin Spacey's in a movie now?
He was crying on TV. I have no money.
Oh, I didn't see that.
He was crying saying, like, I have to file bankruptcy.
I have to file bankruptcy. The American Beauty money has ran out. As of the last update, no official criminal charges have been filed against EDP, despite the evidence presented by the Predator Poachers. The lack of immediate law enforcement involvement in the initial sting operation complicated potential legal proceedings. Though he was also recently caught, again, trying to meet up with another minor. Or that's going to become a kind of important piece of information, is that because it was not done properly the first time, nothing can really be done. And then also now we see that the person is just going to do it again. Yes, it's an extremely funny piece of entertainment, but we're going to see that, like, you need to go through the actual processes for things to be done. And I do tip my hat to Alex Russell for getting the other two people. 30 plus years is extremely f***ing awesome. But in a lot of instances, you just need to do it correctly the first time, or it could muddy up all kinds of waters. A lot of police and district attorneys have said that the vigilante form of catching criminals is bad, and they want them to stop doing it without police help because it can hurt ongoing investigations and even ruin the chances of conviction, as stated with EDP before. The vigilantes doing these things often don't know the correct way of wording things or gathering evidence, and it can cause the people that they're catching not to face any consequences at all for what they've done. With all these things circulating and the rise of this kind of content becoming a popularity, we finally get to come to the carnal. We get to come to the person that we wanted to talk about today, which is Vitaly.
I got molested by Hunter Biden. I got molested by Hunter Biden.
Which, if people might have known him, he's a bit of a character. I mean, he's got a criminal past.
See this girl jogging. Last thing I remember is, please help. And I tried to hug her and she pushed me or whatever. And I hit her and I realized what I was doing on top of her, and I'm like, what the fuck?
There's that part, I remember back in the day watching one of those award shows, and he was just like, oh, you probably expected me to show my small penis or something, haha.
But what about my soft dick, huh? Oh, you think I'm kidding?
I feel like Taylor Swift.
I don't know, the guy is he's been around the internet for a long time, but essentially he is ex-prank YouTuber who has fallen off, but now has seen this huge rise in popularity and notoriety with his show Predator Takedown. And his tactics and practices have been hit with a huge wave of controversies recently. I want to say right now, it is extremely dangerous, it's crazy, it's irresponsible, but my God, is it entertaining. There's no, I mean, it's like the same kind of shit with like Jackass or something. You're like watching somebody do something horribly wrong, but you just know who he's doing it to, and it just makes it just kind of like, I mean, it just makes it pretty great, honestly. He's not involved with the police at all. There is no actual legal system that goes into this. It's like public executions in a weird way is what it feels like. I know Alex Russell has done live streams, but a lot of these online predator hunting shows are videos that are recorded and then edited and, you know, put down to a plate that you can, you know, easily consume. Vitaly's is just hours and hours of streaming and hours of him basically berating these online predators. A 73-year-old suspect was knocked out after a bystander assaulted him. He hit his head on the pavement and started bleeding. He's out in public a lot of the time and people know where he's at. So not only are you streaming yourself where people can easily access you, but you're also inciting a mob of being like, hey, I'm meeting up with a file, let's kick the shit out of this guy, which sounds awesome, but it's a great way for people to get in a lot of legal trouble. And his whole thing is, it's almost like a deal with the devil. He'll either call the cops or he will perform something extremely humiliating and live to thousands and thousands of people, which will garner probably millions of eyes over the course of clips channels and all kinds of things. So of course people are like, yeah, just put me online, I don't give a shit. Don't call the cops, just do whatever you want to me. And some of the humiliations that he does are just like so fucking weird, man. There's a clip of a suspect who has the choice of either getting the police called or wrestling an alligator. There has to be some kind of like PETA outrage by they tape that motherfucker up and they're like using him like a spear. And now one of the alleged predators is filing a 17-count lawsuit against Vitaly. And it's one of the first guys that was, I'm pretty sure it was the first guy that he was ever on his, that was ever on his show or stream. The lawsuit claims that Vitaly wrongfully accused the man of being a predator, and he was physically and mentally abused in a vicious attack. It was. And like, the bad thing too is it's all recorded. It's done in the most unprofessional way where it's hard to look at it and not be like, what the hell? what is this? Out of context, it does look like a person just getting berated. He also claims that he joined Vitaly's website for adult entertainment and was engaging in consensual adult communication before being entrapped by Vitaly. He says Vitaly edited the video to make it seem like he was meeting a 15-year-old boy in the edited video. It's so f***ing scummy and stupid because it's like, dude, we did the whole live stream. What are you talking about? Like, that's such an easily disprovable thing. It's just stupid. The video has the camera crew chanting certified lover boy, certified pedophile after the Kendrick Lamar Drake beef song, but the entire group of people was chanting it. I mean, it looks like a goddamn blood sacrifice in the video.
Certified lover boy, certified pedophile. Whack, whack.
Vitaly's streams where he's supposedly catching tons of pedophiles has already gotten a lot of backlash. When he's catching predators, he isn't just catching them and having the police come and arrest them.
You boys need help? No, back up.
He messes with them and does things like forces them to shave their heads, they have to strip, and they even have to run away while throwing fireworks or flashbang grenades at them while they're laughing. And also, he's been bringing a lot of like controversial YouTubers, celebrities, streamers, all kinds of things to help him. It looks like a fucking weird episode of like Ghost Adventures. They're like bringing them along to go hunt these predators, and you have people like Little Pump showing up. You have Ty Dolla $ign in that. Like, what the hell are you guys even doing here? And they're going there and they're just like, oh, are you a predator? You like to touch kids?
What's up? Trying to meet the 15-year-old?
It's the fucking weirdest thing. Which you even have our boy, our lovely child, Aiden Ross, coming in. And Aiden Ross and Vitaly offer to let a predator go outside and see the cops or eat an extra hot gummy bear for their game show.
Do you want to play our game show? No? We have a hot gummy bear. You want to eat it?
We have cops outside, so you're gonna have to do game show or police.
So it's either you go toss to the cops or you eat this hot gummy bear. Once again, it's very funny watching people squirm and be in pain, especially when they're pieces of shit like this. But it's like, why not just give them to the cops, dude? Or just fucking have them eat the gummy bear and then just push them outside anyways. Like, what the fuck? Which he has people like have to eat hot candy, and then he kind of like scolds them like a schoolyard bully, basically saying, is it making you hard?
Candy. Is it to get you hard?
Oh, it makes you hard.
It's like shit that you would say in 3rd grade to have the kid in the back of the class be like, stop bullying me! And here's just a list of some of the things that have happened on these streams. A random fan of the stream comes up and punches a 73-year-old accused pedophile, knocking him out, hitting his head to the pavement. There's blood everywhere, and Vitaly sits in his van talking about how his career's probably over again. They shave a predator's head. Vitaly pisses on a predator's face. Vitaly and Ty Dolla $ign shave the head and throw flashbangs at a predator as he runs away. A suspect gets assaulted by a bystander. One of the suspects gets slapped around. Vitaly grinds on a suspect. Vitaly attacks a predator. Vitaly supposedly catches the Space Jam producer and writer of the movie. What life am I in? Oh, did someone say another flashbang? And there's a lot of fake crying for views, clicks, and just to make the whole thing look so stupid, and you know, the whole thing's a joke. Beside Aiden Ross and Ty Dolla $ign, other celebrities have joined his hunts and become regular guests in each event. A lot of the celebrities that he's bringing on these streams, it's not like they're all angels anyways. I mean, for the love of God, he's had some people with a high stack of controversies as well, like Sneeko, who's not a big fan of mine. Controversy number 1. He's had his own list of controversies. Or you have legitimate criminals like Charleston White on his fucking stream, dude. Who the fuck are you to be calling these people out as well? Yes, these people are fucking monsters, but don't act like you're some vigilante as well, dude. Because he is a prankster, and because pranksters are notoriously known for faking content, hiring paid actors for these things, it isn't out of the realm of possibility that these are fake, and a lot of people are accusing Vitaly of faking this content in general. Mostly because of the lack of evidence and the sheer bizarre nature of these confrontations, how it's always convenient. Also, it's such like weird stuff, not to speculate too much, but it's like, they're just in like random alleys, just in a lot of places where there's not a lot of people around. Yes, they do have some on streets, and I'm not saying that they're all fake, but motherfuckers picking pedophiles off a tree like they're goddamn apple. So who knows, like it could be a mixture, I don't know. And because of that too, it just makes the entire thing even more of a joke and more of a mockery, and it kind of like also makes the severity of the situation once again feel a little watered down, and you're not supposed to take it as seriously, even though it is something that is extremely disgusting and gross, dealing with these fucking predators and these monsters. And the biggest problem is that Vitaly is creating entrapment scenarios and loopholes and like dirtying up evidence. Yes, it's funny and entertaining, but he's not really doing anything to actually give more justice to these people. That like the justice is never really served. Yes, it's humiliating. If they're not behind bars, how many of these people will do it again? And I would have to say almost all of them, if not all of them, would do this kind of shit again if it is real. And I mean, even the way of like them saying like, well, we're doing this, you know, because it's going to be evidence to use in court, but like almost all the interrogation tactics and all the things that they do to get these convictions are completely unusable. You have to ask yourself, why is this bad? God damn it, I can't say enough that it's funny and it's good that people are being exposed. If this is real, it is good. At the end of the day, predators get away. These people, the fucking degenerates, do get away. Yeah, they get humiliated for a second, and yeah, their face is out there. If the entire thing feels like a watered down mess, then they get humiliated for what, like a couple weeks? How long is it until they're completely forgotten or nothing is really done to actually make them be aware in new neighborhoods they're living in, new places they live? There's no way to really prosecute. There's no way to really contain them. As shown in the above clips, with the coercion, unlawful detainment, and even physical abuse, the admissions and evidence are inadmissible. Even going as far as to somewhat insinuate that they are the law enforcement, but unfortunately, they are not. They're just big online bullies who have a pretty funny game show. It's just things where it's like you also have the potential of ruining someone's life by being on one of these things when maybe they're not supposed to be there, because we just don't know. We don't know the legality, and we don't know the legitimacy of anything that's going on in front of us. We just have to believe a man who has historically been a fraud. I mean, I know, you know, he's been a sketchy guy. So what Vitaly is doing is a double-edged sword at the end of the day. Yes, you're humiliating people, and yes, it is enthralling content of watching disgusting human beings kind of get what they deserve. But at the same time, you're also not treating the justice system fairly. And yes, it is. I'm not going to go into the semantics of how fucked our justice system is and how unfair a lot of things are. But at the same time, it's the only way for us to play the game to actually put these people behind bars, which is extremely important. It's a weird thing of, can you have justice and entertainment together? In a lot of ways, I bet you can, but I bet a lot of ways it's all fabricated to actually make it seem fun and feel like justice and entertainment can exist. Because a lot of times justice is very cold and it's not entertaining. It's long and it's a hard process. Versus entertainment is here to, are we really actually trying to stop anything or do anything good? Or are we just trying to get likes and views? Because at the end of the day, it's hard to justify. It's hard to make this a legitimate case of something that is a positive thing. Yes, albeit very funny. Not gonna say that. I'm all for exposing these pedophiles and, you know, getting them off the goddamn internet, but we have to do it in a way where actual shit happens. That's what I advocate. Hunter Hancock, 2024. Get the pedophiles off the street. Any president would win if that was their tagline, get the pedophiles off the street. How could you argue against that? Oh, so my tagline's not good enough? But thankfully, you know, a lot of these people are still being exposed, and there is some good to it. I'm not gonna say it's all negative, but it is something interesting that's happening right now. I mean, the 17-count lawsuit thing is just happening right now. It's pretty crazy, and I thought that it was something interesting to bring up because pedophiles suck. Controversial opinion. Pedophiles suck, and you want these things to be able to happen, but we have to go in the right ways about it. I feel like people mix the entertainment with the justice side. They both can't exist in harmony. The only person that could probably do it is like Mr. Beast, because he gives back, right? Beast Hunting, new game show. Especially Jimmy's like all buff now. He goes down and like tackles and like beats people to death with a baseball bat or something. That'd be, I mean, you know, why not? While this content is extremely entertaining and it has been for 20 plus years over the various sources, I think we can all agree that the right things need to happen to make sure that justice is properly served. We need to do it the right way. And with that, that's all I got for you today. I appreciate you watching. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.
No, I'm actually looking for a black guy to eat ass today.
Well, nigga, let's do it. We outside. Bing bong, motherfucker. We outside. Eat this ass all day, nigga. Hello, we outside. Stop playing with the kid.
So, bro,
what?
George Floyd?
George Floyd.
Let's take
nigga dead.
Oh, I thought it was.